Good evening, guys. Got my crown on. Just wait for people to join, and I'll add people in. Hi, Josh. Just add you in. 1 second. Oh, I forgot how to do it. Hey. I should have added you in. Hello.
Hello.
I was like, have I added you in? 1 second. Oh my god! I had your face covered up because I was just hi, Stephen.
Hi.
Who's ready to
I was.
party?
I had your face covered up then, Josh. You gave me a fright when I put the thing down. I've missed off Emma now.
This is just how I party. I always love this when I'm having a party.
Oh my god. I
Is
feel
this?
like I should have done something.
I've kind of put my crown on. Hopefully, Emma. Here she is,
Oh.
Emma. I didn't know they were doing this. I just thought, oh, I'll put this on last minute. Otherwise, I would have said Stephen. Sorry.
I was gonna get a crown
You're
from
going
Burger
for
King.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Oh no! But you're here, our prom king, Stephen. You
Oh,
are our prom
Yeah.
king.
thanks.
Oh, how are you guys? You all right? You all
Not bad,
okay?
thank you.
Yeah, good.
I'm just going to try and make
Just
the
having a bit of
comments.
punch.
You having a good old
Spike.
time there, Josh? You having a good old time? Yeah, it looks like it. So the killers are coming. The killers are gonna get you, and they're here, literally with us tonight.
Oh my god.
So tonight I have Josh with us, who is known to be a killer on the dance floor with his disco madness moves, which he's going to show us later. He's promised me. We've got
Yay.
we've got Killer Queen Emma, who got rather excited about bringing Mr. Slicey out to play tonight. If we don't know who Mr. Slicey is, I'm sure Emma will show us.
Oh.
Oh, look at that. Ooh, I'm scared. We've got the brilliant Stephen from Creek Talk podcast. He's been making a list and he's been checking it twice and he's been crossing all our names off. Uh-oh. And I'm Shelley, so I would definitely be the first person to be killed off in a horror movie. There's no question about it. I would never survive. So tonight we're going to be chatting about Prom Night, the original Prom Night from 1980, not the remake.
No.
Yep.
Which I
Don't
did
go
put
near
myself
it.
through the other night, just for fun. So Prom Night, if people don't know, so it's set in Hamilton High. It's a slasher movie that follows a relentless killer who is out to avenge the death of a young girl who died after being bullied and teased by 4 of her classmates. So tonight at prom, oh, we lost Josh. He'll come back. Tonight,
I'm here.
at prom there'll be more. Oh, we've lost Stephen. Sorry, I thought we'd lost you, Josh. Then, oh, Stephen, come back. I'll just send Stephen a request, just in case.
Stephen got too scared. He bailed.
Oh,
Said, I am
look,
out of here.
it's that list he's making. You see, like he's off to make his list. Oh, he's back.
I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. It's okay. We thought you'd gone off to make your list to like kill us off.
Oh, yeah, I had to go kill someone real quick. Cut in the middle of this whole thing, so
I'll
sorry.
tell you, that was super quick time to kill someone, Stephen.
I'm pretty fast.
So at prom, they'll be more beautiful than ever than they've ever been in their whole lives. At prom night, because apparently that's the only time you can ever be beautiful. And someone has come to the prom alone, just to watch them dance, just to see them fall in love, and to see them die. We all love a bit of death. So as children, they played a killer's game. Now it's the killer's turn to play with them. And this night, prom night, just so happens to be the anniversary of Robin's death, who was the girl who got killed when they were children. So obviously the opening scenes then for this film. So spoilers ahead for Prom Night 1980. And possibly I might mention some of the remake. So possible spoilers for that. But yeah, spoilers ahead. If you've got any comments or anything, pop them up and I'll try and read them out. But yeah, so the opening scene is like set 6 years before the present day. With the kids, there's Wendy, Nick, Kelly and Jude, all playing in like an abandoned building. I thought it was like an old school building, but I wasn't sure. And then
Was
things obviously go. I wasn't sure.
Was there a mention of it being a convent, maybe?
Yeah, possible. It just looks spooky.
Yeah, I don't know.
Spooky. And all that laughing and the echoing of like the kids laughing just like really created like the tension. But what did you all think of the opening scene, like to set the tone and obviously this tragedy that happened? What did you think, Josh?
It's a hilarious opening because obviously it's set in 1974, which clearly kids didn't have iPhones, TV maybe at home, or they've obviously been kicked out of the house, told to go play. And I just love the fact that their idea of fun was to go to an abandoned house and start yelling kill, just run around fake killing each other. It's brilliant. Yeah, it was good fun. I did get slightly sick of them screaming kill because they say it a lot.
Yeah, they do say it a lot, and killer's gonna get you.
Kill. And they all look really quite mean, and they're not they look like very nice kids.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
So it was good. It was a good opening. It set it up effectively. It's a shame that other films have done it better, maybe, taken that idea of someone dying and it being covered up kind of thing.
Yeah, so like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Exactly.
Style, yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun opening. It's very atmospheric.
Yeah. What did you think, Emma?
I liked it. I thought it was suspenseful. I felt sorry for the little girl. Is it Anne? It's Anne, wasn't it?
Robin
Anne.
Yeah, I felt awful for her. Oh, Robin Anne. Robin Anne.
She's got two names.
Is it him?
She's so
Hammond.
Robin Anne Hammond. That was it. I've got it written down here. I did make some notes. I did my homework. But I thought it was great. Like Josh, I thought, them screaming kill was a bit over the top, but I thought it was suspenseful, but we all knew she was going out of the window. We all knew that was coming. So
definitely.
Yeah, it was a little bit predictable, but very eerie, and kids being creepy is there's something wrong about it. So it did set it up well, I thought.
Yeah, no, I agree on that. How about you, Stephen? What did you think of the opening?
It was very 80s for me. So I have to agree with what everyone's saying. It was very atmospheric. It was very grating when they kept screaming, kill, kill, kill. I was like, shut up. But
where are you guys going with this? Make a point.
I know. Are they going to kill her? I don't know. But I felt really bad for Robin because, you clearly knew what was going to happen, but I was like, she just wants to be friends with these kids. I don't know why, because they're little jerks. But it reminded me of I Know What You Did Last Summer, like what you just said, Shelley, where they're like, don't talk about it. And I said, oh wow, maybe they stole that from Lois Duncan stole that from this movie. I don't know, but no, it was good.
Yeah, possible. I do think like
they agreed to cover it up pretty quickly. They all seem to be.
Yeah, I was just going to say they really did.
For children,
they were like, cover it up. Yeah, cover it up. But even though she was dead,
none of them said, "Let's save her."
Yeah.
No, none of them. They were
ambulance.
brutal.
They didn't even
the boy
check.
did. He said we have to call the police or something.
Oh yeah, young Nick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick, yeah.
Oh,
And then the other girl was
Simon.
crying. I think it was
Yeah, he struggled.
Jude was crying. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Jude or
Kelly.
Kelly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
it
kept
might have
getting
been
them
Kelly,
confused.
yeah. Oh, maybe we was being a bit harsh saying that they didn't care when actually they probably did a bit.
It was more Wendy, just like, don't tell anyone.
Don't
Yeah.
tell anyone.
Wendy was scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
Wendy.
think if Wendy told you not to tell
Wendy
somebody,
was.
you didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Yes, you do what
They're
Wendy
like, got
tells
it.
you.
Done. I'll live with this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I know. Okay, Wendy.
Just don't hurt me.
Karen's put, those children were proper mean and creepy. I'd have leapt from the window too, with all their kills screaming.
Should have just jumped
Like,
out.
see you later, guys. Jump out the window. Oh.
You got no blood on your hands. I just got to get away from you.
Yeah. What are you waiting for?
So there was a lot of really good characters in this film. I love so many of them. Who was your favourite? Who was your favourite, Stephen? Favourite character?
Probably Wendy, the adult Wendy. And I
Yeah.
also liked Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Kim. But yeah, they were all kind of interchangeable for me, except for Wendy, because she was clearly the most interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say those two.
She loved a sports car, Wendy, didn't she?
Yeah.
And, yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love that classic line. She kind of says, like, it's not who you go with, honey, it's who you take home. And I'm like, yeah, you're not
Oh,
going
yeah.
home with anyone.
Badass. Did that even make it on the poster?
No, it's such a good line.
Or is
Like,
that's the line?
Mm.
That's the franchise line, isn't it? That they use it in all the sequels as well.
I haven't seen the
I have no idea.
sequels.
Yeah.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
Google
them.
told me.
Oh, it's,
I'm not going to
it's
watch
such a
them.
good line, though. It's such a good line. I
Yeah,
loved it.
exactly.
How about you, Eva? Who was your favourite character?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Wendy because purely because she picked up that broom and whacked him in the stomach, and I was just like, "Go, girl, bash, have that." So yeah, I think because she was just so strong-minded and knew what she wanted and just wanted to survive.
Yeah.
Bless her. And her red dress was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Let's be
She had
honest,
the
that red
best
dress
prom dress.
was
Yeah,
amazing.
she did have
Really
the best
nice.
prom dress, definitely. Because that
Bit
whole
Jessica
chase
Rabbit.
scene. Oh yeah, Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That
The
chase scene was great.
yeah, which is, in my opinion,
She was chased a lot.
and it was kind of the only thing that I found similar in the remake, because there was a bit of a chase scene similar, I thought, to that. But that's it. That's the only thing that was the same in the
Homage.
remake, and everything else was different.
Didn't you
yeah.
feel like the chase scene with Wendy was very like a callback to the opening where they were playing hide and seek and they were trying to
Oh, yeah.
find, they were like kill. Like I felt like it was a very
Yeah.
like a mirror type of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's
a
good observation.
definitely.
Totally.
I didn't think that
'Cause
when
she does
I
hide.
was watching it. Yeah.
Yeah. She's hiding and then she gets killed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Yeah.
But she
Yeah.
does a good job of hiding. Like, she hides
Yeah.
in every possible. Well, I say she
Not
does
the
a
car.
good job, but I was going to say.
God,
not
no.
I was
the
like, you can
car.
clearly
Not the
see her.
car.
I was like, get in the trunk or something, Wendy. Jesus.
Yeah, just lying down in a red,
Mhm.
in a bright red dress as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So, such a giveaway. But and why were all the doors locked to the school? They were like literally not just shut; they were like padlocked.
They were,
It's like,
It was to stop the
I wonder if the
psycho
copper
coming
did
in.
that.
oh, okay. So the
Yeah, the cop. think did that.
I didn't think
And
that.
also,
I
it's
just
just, isn't
thought.
that just like a general rule for school events? It's just keep everything locked or people are going to go and do stuff.
Yeah.
Possible.
I just thought it was closed for that reason. Yeah.
I'm
I don't know.
scared. Like,
My school might have been lax in that department. Just get them out. We don't want them in here.
Get out the nearest exit. Go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't think that. So yeah, maybe the police did padlock those.
I didn't get why he was there. Like he was kind of like
He's a
there
bit.
maybe to protect them from a potential psycho, but not really. Because how did you know the
No,
psycho
that
would
whole
come to
That
school?
whole side storyline
yeah,
was
I
weird.
did not get it at all. I kind of like cut it out of the movie for myself because I didn't get it at all.
Yeah.
It made no
yeah.
sense to me.
Funny enough, I did read that that whole sub storyline. I can't remember the guy's name, but about the psycho that's meant to be on the loose is actually added in after.
Sykes?
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
It shows.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
apparently it
just-
was added
oh,
in
it was a
afterwards.
merch.
Merch.
Sykes
That's
was the
it.
character,
Yeah.
so merch was the killer, yeah.
Yeah. But apparently, yeah, that was all.
And
That
that
whole
pissed off Jamie
storyline
Lee
was
Curtis.
added in. Did it?
Did it?
Yeah,
Did it?
she's like, I fucking hate
Ooh.
Prom Night. She said all that psychopathic killer stuff was not in the original script, not in the script I agreed to. They added that.
Oh.
They added that after they cut the movie, so she was like really, really pissed off about that because it made it more like Halloween, and she didn't want to do Halloween
Yeah.
exactly again.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So
wonder
the
why they
actual like
chose to do
script
that.
and like everything else in the movie didn't piss her off. Just that part of the movie.
Yeah, just that one
Yeah.
little bit.
The script was problematic. Big time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that, Josh. I knew that they'd added it in, but I didn't know that she wasn't aware that that's what they were doing. Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. I wonder why they chose to do that, though.
Mm.
Like, why did they add that whole... I don't think they needed that. Like Stephen said, you could watch it without that whole storyline. And it
I think
would
it was
still...
more of a red herring.
It seems like a producer's
Yeah.
note,
Yeah.
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah. I
Someone who's
think
not a
so.
writer.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who was your favourite character, Josh?
I loved Wendy as well, but just to be devil's advocate as well, I also loved Jude because I loved how
okay.
enthusiastic she was about everything. Like
She-
when Slick first pulls
Yeah.
up in the van, she should be kind of going, fuck off. But actually she's like, oh, okay, all right.
Stranger danger.
Yeah. And then like during the prom, she's like, we can go to the bluff. It'll be great. And then they go off the bluff and then he's like,
Yeah.
let's go back to the van. She's like, okay. And, like, she's just super excited about everything. She's so happy to be there.
Oh, dear. Oh, she was great.
Best day of my
I
life.
know.
My life.
Yeah.
But she was great.
Yeah.
And then that bluff, when she says they're going to the bluff, they didn't really walk that far, did they? It was like past a little bush to the thing. It made it sound like it was like really far away when they were like, oh yeah, let's go. And
I
no,
know.
it was literally
It's
2
like 6 feet
seconds.
away.
Yeah.
What is that doing right next to the school? You know,
Where
where's the
were
school
they?
built?
Yeah. Where were
Yeah. The weirdest sound.
they?
Where yeah, and there's like that giant drop where, you know, because the car goes off the. Is that a bluff? I don't even know. So like,
That's not safe.
We're like,
Apparently
all right.
so.
let's go to the most dangerous spot where the school is. We could potentially die,
Yeah.
but let's get it in first.
Yeah.
Oh god! Oh, it's such a great scene. Such a great scene.
It was. I
I'll
thought
talk-
it was funny.
I'll talk about that scene in a minute, but I have to mention. I agree. Wendy, great character, and Jamie Lee Curtis, love her. She can do no wrong. But for me, my favourite character was Lou.
Oh God.
The eyebrows alone.
Oh no.
No, not in an Adam Devine way. I just had to get Adam Devine
Oh,
in there.
okay.
But not in an
I
Adam
think he looks a
Devine way.
little
But
bit like Adam Devine.
no. But I just liked him for his complete like slime ball character, and he just really couldn't give like two hoots. And
Yeah.
it's just like I love having got
And he
the
gets
blame.
the worst death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But he gets
That's
the
it.
blame for everything. Like,
Oh, I love that death.
I think Emma's got a bit of a delay.
Have I? Oh gosh.
No, that just made
Sorry,
me
guys.
jump. Oh dear. But his death was great. Um, the whole
Yeah,
chopping of the
best one.
head. And
On
then
the dance floor.
and
Hmm.
Well, it wasn't
apparently
dance, it was a catwalk, wasn't it?
yeah, he had to actually be underneath the floor, and like that's actually not a. I
Oh
can
yeah.
never say this word. Prosthetic. I can't say
Prosthetic?
it. That's
Prosthetic?
it. One of those. One of those. It wasn't one of those. It was actually his real head. So he was actually under the floor, and apparently the
Oh,
director or the producer had to like hold his hand because he was like terrified of it or something. Which I just
I would
found
be. You'd
like,
feel so vulnerable.
oh,
Just your
yeah,
head
yeah,
poking out of the floor.
yeah. But I just loved how he got the
Wanting
blame
to
for
scratch your
everything.
nose.
I know. That would drive me nuts.
Just be like, but he got the blame for a lot of things. Creepy phone calls. Lou gets the blame, and I just loved him. The whole like when he picks Wendy up for the prom, and she's like waiting for him to open the door, and he's just like sitting in his
Yeah.
car drinking his beers. And then the whole scene when he's like dancing with Wendy, and then he turns his back, and she kind of walks
Yeah.
off. And then he's just like there, like proper going, and he turns around and realizes she's not there.
Why was he
For
allowed?
me, I
He'd just
just
been
thought he was
suspended.
great.
Why did no one?
Oh
Why didn't Leslie Nielsen go over and say, "Hey, buddy, you're actually
yeah,
suspended. Get out of my gym"?
yeah. Yeah, that's a
I didn't get
point.
that either.
I
yeah.
wanted to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think of that. I was just like, yay, Lou's there.
And was the
I
whole
thought he was the
plan that he
worst.
was going to? Was the whole plan
I
that he
just,
was going to just go out as the prom king? It was sort of like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's so
I know
weird.
crackpot scheme they had.
all along, I was like, what's their plan? What's going to be their
Yeah.
plan? And then it was just
Yeah.
like, oh, he's just gonna
She
walk
says,
out as prom king.
Yeah.
yeah, don't hurt
Yeah.
anyone. Don't hurt anyone. Well, he wasn't ever going to do that.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Maybe she had a crazy idea, like a really out there mad idea, and he was like, that's too crazy even for me. I'm just gonna like knock him out and take his crown. That's it.
Put the crown on.
Oh
No,
yeah,
Wendy.
I like that. I like that. So it takes a while, doesn't it, for the story to kind of build, and I mean it's like 1 hour and 2 minutes into the film before we get like a proper death scene, which is Kelly. And obviously
Yeah.
it's only a 1 hour 32-minute film, so that's quite like a way in.
Yeah.
So are you guys like fans of like building up the tension that much to the point that the film's almost over before the death, or do you like the action kind of like straight away? Stephen, what do you think?
Well, I did think that it did drag out a lot before like anything happens. Because I guess they were trying to get us to like understand who these characters are. But I felt, yeah, like I needed like something because I was sort of like looking at my watch, being like, is anything going to happen? But like something suspenseful aside from the opening. But yeah, but once all the killing started happening, I mean, it was pretty quick, like one after another. And
Yeah.
it was creepy. I will say, like some of the deaths were very creepy. But yeah, I don't like that much of a build up. I mean, something
Yeah.
needs to happen.
Yeah, no, definitely. What about you, Josh? Do you think like it's a sign of the times, like because it's from the 80s that we got that slow build, or do you think that we're just so used to like the action now that that's what we like? What do you think, Josh?
Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
Sorry, I just switched internet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's all right. I was just saying, do you think it was a sign of the times with the slow build for the 1980s?
It was
Or is that why we
definitely
like our action now?
it was definitely going for like a Halloween slow build up. First hour is all about getting to know the characters.
Yeah.
But it did feel kind of like aimless, like you're suddenly with the detective for a while and you're hearing his like
Yeah.
film noir style inner thinking about I must stop him killing again and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a bit like, well, who's the main character? And you know, it was very slow build. But that being said, I quite enjoyed it. I liked the crossing the names off the list. It was brilliant. I thought it was kind of weirdly artful in places as well. Like there were lots of static shots of locations, and I thought it was quite clever in the way it gave little sort of blink and you miss and flashbacks of previous
Mm,
scenes. So I kind of enjoyed that stuff. And then when the deaths began, they were actually really quite slow and drawn out to the
mm.
degree that I was like, okay, can we get over it now?
Mm.
Like, so
More
yeah,
death.
I'm in
Yeah.
two minds over it.
Yeah, yeah. And what about you, Emma? Did you like the slow build, or did you want it to have a bit more action?
No, I didn't like the slow build. I I would rather it have gone straight in with something,
Mm,
or something before that hour. Like and I don't think it's an 80s thing either, because I watched a lot of horror in the 80s.
yeah.
I cleared out my blockbuster. So, and it would always, a lot of it would go straight for it, so far. You'd get a bit of the story, but, I think even with Nightmare on Elm Street, that was pretty fast when it went for Tina. I don't
Yeah,
know, it felt
definitely.
faster.
Yeah,
But yeah, this was too slow way too slow for me.
yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't like the inner monologue either. I was like, oh my gosh, it was really
And he had a really
cheesy.
forgettable face. I kept forgetting who he
Oh,
was.
thanks.
Every time I saw him again,
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah,
he's the cop. Right. Okay.
yeah,
I
same.
just thought it was some like pervy man standing in the
Yeah.
wing.
Yeah, I know.
It was
Yeah.
weird. It was weird. Um, I've got a
Especially when he
comment
was
from
like, oh, now we can get the party started or something. It's like, where's he going? Where's
yeah.
he going? What's he going to do?
Dawson's Weekly Pods put it's a 70s hangover, so Dead, Texas
Mm,
Chainsaw, Halloween.
yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, we've got
Yeah.
like that crossover period. But
yeah.
I wonder,
It's
like,
straining for
Mm.
credibility, maybe.
yeah, I wonder, like, back in the 80s, whether I would have found it a slow build, or whether I've just got used to now, like the likes of like Scream, where you've got the kill like straight away, so then you've just got
Mm,
used to it. But yeah, I
Mm.
thought it was interesting,
Yeah.
and I have to say, I watched it twice. So I watched it the other night, and I found it slow. But then when I rewatched it today, I actually found I enjoyed it more, and I was like, oh,
mm,
I think because maybe I knew who the
Ah,
reveal was,
yeah.
and that because I didn't remember who. I've seen this
yeah.
film years ago, but I couldn't remember much about it.
Ah,
Yeah, so I definitely
okay.
enjoyed it more when I
So
watched
did
it
nobody
again.
guess the killer before the killer was revealed?
No, I didn't. Did you?
Yes.
Ah,
Did you? Did you,
Yeah, I did.
Stephen?
I
Have
did
you
I
seen it
did towards the
before?
no, this is the first time I've ever seen it. I started to towards the end because I started
mm,
noticing like, little clues, but I was kind of like disappointed that that's who it was, but I wasn't surprised, you know.
mm.
Mm.
I thought it
Hmm.
was really obvious from the opening scene. Like you see
I do.
the little boy,
Yeah, I
the little
did.
boy wanders off, the brother, and then when she falls out the window, you see the shadow come over, and it's like, well, we know the little boy is still there somewhere. So
Oh
clearly
yeah,
it's the
I totally
brother.
missed
It's
that.
really obvious.
Yeah,
Oh.
I missed that. I'm with you, Stephen. I did not. I thought it was going to be Leslie Nielsen. I was like, he's a good
Ah,
actor. He hasn't done much in this. He's got to be the
Yeah,
killer.
yeah, I thought maybe he was too. But
Yeah.
yeah, because I was like, he was so distraught in the beginning over the daughter.
yeah.
It
Mm.
took me a while to realize that he was their father. I thought he was like a cop in the beginning,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
then I was like, oh, he's
Mm.
the principal.
Yeah, I
So
did.
Why was he up there? It was so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like that's a cop
yeah,
intro.
but also, why was he up there staring down at his dead daughter? I was like,
Yeah,
he
I
should be down there
know.
with her. It was
I
so
know.
weird.
And his
Oh,
wife crying, like,
Yeah,
just leave her down there while she's crying her
Yeah.
eyes out. Like,
it was so weird.
I need to have my moment.
it was
I know.
really weird. It was so weird as well
my
because
brooding.
Yeah.
I've only seen don't shoot me, but I've only seen Leslie Nielsen in like comedy films.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
like
Well, this was
I was
like one of his last
expecting it.
dramatic roles,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I was expecting him to like
Was it
come out with some
dramatic?
Melodramatic.
Mm.
but yeah, I kept half expecting him to do like some like funny scenes, and that it was just weird for me. I just couldn't like. So when
He
he's
should
like
have done
looking
with
down
like
at his
Bill
dead
Connor's show
daughter,
at
so
some point.
it's Honestly, yeah, it did throw me. I honestly didn't guess that it was going to be Alex at all.
Oh.
But yeah, so whilst we're talking about Alex, I've got a few questions. Maybe plot holes, but you'll answer them because you guys are better than me. So all the way along, obviously. So when I say I thought it was Leslie Nielsen, the only flaw to my argument there was I did keep thinking about the killer. Oh, he's very stealthy. Like when he's like running around and like jumping over barriers or whatever it was in the school. So I don't know why I
Wearing
did
a
think.
weirdly glittery balaclava. Why was it so glittery?
Balaclava.
Where did he get that from?
Wow, this was one of my questions. So he obviously was wearing the balaclava which Lou had worn in the cafeteria when they had the brawl, when Lou and Alex had the brawl. So if he started wearing the balaclava, I can't speak tonight. Balaclava. Do you think that he was trying to set Lou up? Like that was his ultimate goal, to like set him up in the end?
I could see that.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
Yeah.
I did wonder about that.
But then he accidentally chopped his head off instead.
Yeah.
So
There goes his plan.
yeah.
Accidentally on purpose.
So yeah, so I did think that as well. And also, originally, was he trying to make the police think that Leonard Murch, the psychotic person who they arrested for Robin's death, was he trying to make them think he came back? Because who killed the girl in the warehouse at the very beginning? Not at the beginning with when they were kids, but at the beginning they find a body who we don't know who it is in the warehouse. Who killed her? Was it Alex?
Yeah.
Or was it Leonard Murch?
I don't know.
I assumed it was Merge, but it kind of makes more sense if it was Alex trying to pin it on him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wondered. I thought maybe.
But it was weird that it was
he
back there. Was it like a little... Because if it was there... Yeah, maybe because it was there, it was Alex. Because maybe he was trying to make a point to the people who knew what happened there.
Yeah.
While
just a
leading
little
the
thing.
cops down the wrong trail.
A little thing I picked up on when I rewatched it today, and I thought, oh, hang on a sec, who killed that original
And
girl?
who was she?
And was he just doing a practice?
Was she just unrelated? Practice kill.
Why? Yeah, why? Why was she
just
killed?
a practice run?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It was a real thing.
Possibly.
I've never
someone.
killed anybody. Let me go kill a random person and blame it on this other guy so I can kill everybody who killed my sister. I don't think Alex was that smart, was he?
To practice with his axe.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, just a practice run there. But I also loved what I loved about Alex as well was that he was in charge of the sound system for the prom. So it explains a lot why the same song kept going on repeat. Because he just left it to play.
Oh no, that song was dreadful.
While he was off doing his killy, he just left the sound system on repeat.
I was
He
happy
could have
with
left
that.
it on Earth, Wind and
know.
Fire or something, you know. Why?
They couldn't afford the music, did they?
No good 70s music.
Yeah, so like Josh just said, apparently they couldn't. Originally they filmed it with like hits from
Ross.
Gloria Gaynor and Donna Summer, but they couldn't afford the rights to the music. So at the last minute, they had to, like, in 5 days or something ridiculous, had to record some different music, but trying to stick to how those songs might sound, like I Will Survive, which are quite clearly is a rip-off of.
Oh, wow.
There was one that
know
sounded just like ABBA. There was one
Yeah.
that was so like ABBA, I had to check the IMDb track listing to see if it actually was like an undiscovered ABBA song, but it was just the composer from the movie who did it.
Yeah, and apparently he tried to keep them as dissimilar as possible, but the one song clearly sounds like I Will Survive. It's got the same, like, doo-doo-doo, like everything. But apparently he was instructed to do that. He wrote them all in 5 days, trying to avoid a lawsuit, but I think they did get some type of
They got sued for
fine.
$10 million.
Oh, 10
Oh
And
wow.
they settled on like $50,000, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So such an
Wow.
interesting like. I mean, clearly, like I'm not surprised they got sued because they just sound so similar.
Hmm.
And then obviously the soundtrack only got released like 40 years later. It's because I think because of
Oh.
like music rights and stuff like that. So
Oh,
yeah, it's quite
interesting.
How bizarre.
Okay. Well,
interesting.
all the music
Yeah.
is the music that you've been using in your stories is from the movie, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because some of them I was very into. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, and it plays on repeat. And I was like, oh, I like this. And then I saw in the credits it was Paul Zaza. Is that who it was?
Zaza. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it connected with me, and I was like, oh, I never heard of this person, but it all makes sense what you're saying now that they created all the music for the movie. I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
bespoke,
Bespoke for the
just for
film,
prom night.
but sounds exactly
Amazing.
like I Will
Those
Survive.
those are the songs you love so much. Like, hi, I'm Troy McClure. If you like this song, listen to this one as well.
Um. Oh, we lost
Oh, Emma's gone.
Emma. She'll come back.
She's gone to the
Oh,
locker room.
oh, she's
She's
gone
got
off
to go
to.
kill someone to
Yeah.
She's gone off with Mr. Slicey. That's what it is.
We're all
She's I'll just send
Who's
an
the real
invite and then
killer?
she'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know who the real killer is. She's gone off to do a bit of killing. She'll be
Sorry,
back.
guys.
We just saw
My
Mr.
internet went
Slice.
down.
I don't know whether you were quicker at killing someone than Stephen, or whether you were a little bit longer.
Pretty close.
I killed 2 people.
Oh,
Oh wow!
you
Oh,
beat
your
me.
turn next, Josh.
Ah,
So Alex as a killer. Apparently, his character is famous for being. All this movie is famous for having a killer that's like a sympathetic killer, if that's the right word. So, did we feel sorry for Alex? Josh, did you feel sorry for Alex?
Kind of. I find it interesting that this is like a kind of a slasher film where the slasher killer isn't actually trying to kill the final girl. Like Jamie Lee Curtis is clearly set up as a final girl, but she's not a victim in the film. She's not even aware that anybody is dying. So it must have been a bit of a shock when suddenly her brother turns up in a black mask and tries to kill Nick. Anyway, sorry. Did I feel sorry for Alex? Kind of. Like he was clearly deeply traumatized. But, and I guess it was like the 80s, so who's getting therapy? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of did feel a little bit sorry for him, but at the same time, he went out and killed a bunch of people, so not so much.
How about you, Stephen? Did you feel a bit sorry for him?
Not really. I didn't really feel anything for Alex. I liked his hair. That was
Oh, I liked his
But
hair.
It was very muscular.
it. He was very, very strong when he beat up Lou and all those guys in the cafeteria. And I started to like realize that it was him when he was like just in the middle of like killing, and I was like, oh, I think it might be Alex because he was so tough in that scene. But yeah, I don't think I felt bad for him. He was murdering all these people. But yeah, like go talk about it. Go talk about why you're hurting that your sister died. Don't kill people. Like that's not what you do.
And also, you know who killed her. You could just go to the cops.
Right. Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Why didn't he just do that? There was a cop standing right at the door.
Why do you wait all
There's
these
a cop,
years?
isn't it? No.
Yeah, and why like 6 years specifically?
I don't know.
Very
I've got to
random.
wait till they're. I guess I was trying to think that, and is it partly because they're sort of 18, they're about to start their lives, they're going off to like have proper lives. So it's kind of like a poetic thing to like, no, sorry, you're dead now. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It's hormones. Just blame it on hormones.
Yeah. It's really coincidence.
How about you, Emma? Did you feel a bit sorry for Alex?
Oh, I didn't care about Alex at all.
I love
Poor Alex.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Well, you know what? He's a little psychopath, because what kind of child just stands over his dead sister, doesn't even sort of go, oh no, and try and, revive her or anything like that. Just, standing over her. And then waits 6 years, doesn't say anything to anybody, keeps that right inside, and then waits and goes, oh, you know what, I'm buff now, I'm going to kill everyone. No!
We didn't see the trailer where he worked out and I'm going to get Stan. I'm going to
We
get
all
Psycho
missed
Stan.
that.
An axe.
Yeah, exactly, like X-Men style.
Oh, I would have liked to have seen that, Josh.
Yeah,
I would
yes,
have
but
liked to have seen that.
You're going to do bench pressing his axe like this.
Oh dear! Like trying on different balaclavas just to see which one looks better.
This
one.
This glittery one is perfect. Nobody will suspect.
Oh, now that would have made a better remake than the remake. I would have.
Oh, really?
That. Yeah. It was so bad.
I feel like I've seen it, but I have absolutely no memory of it.
Same. I said the same thing. I've never seen the original, but I feel like I saw the remake, but I don't remember anything about it.
Brittany Snow.
Yes.
Yeah, and Idris Elba's in it. He's the policeman.
Oh really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's the policeman who stands and watches them like a pervert at the door. But
there's another one coming, isn't there? Next year. There's another one.
Is there?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, my husband says there is, because he started watching it, and I said, "Oh, you don't have to watch this with me. You can go downstairs and do whatever you're doing." He said, "I'm invested now, and there's another one coming next year." And I thought, "Oh, someone's been googling."
I love it.
Well, if they do make another one, let's hope that it is like an actual remake, and because the storyline in the remake with Brittany Snow, the only thing that was similar was there was this psycho. There was that little homage to the running around, but that's it. And obviously they go to prom, and that's kind of like. It's just not the same at all.
Maybe I'll watch it later. Like I have nothing to do today, so maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah, don't.
Doing nothing is better.
Even like my husband watched it with me, the remake. He didn't watch the original, but he watched the remake with me the other night, and he was like, "What the hell are we watching?"
Oh my god!
Actually, watch it.
I hear the sequel. I will. I'll let you know. I hear the sequel is like a cult movie now, like Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. And I've never seen that either, but I hear so many like horror podcasts and stuff talk about it, and I've yet to see that too. But now I feel like I'm invested since I watched the first one, so maybe I should like check them out.
Yeah,
see
I
how
might
they
do that as
rate
well.
up.
Yeah,
do a comparison.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get them over here. I couldn't see it on
really
the streaming services. Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
One of those. Yeah.
I think that I think the sequels. I don't know if you get Shudder or I think it's on Prime. Yeah. I know that they're on there because I was looking around, but
okay.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Just come to America and you can hang out here and watch them together.
Road trip.
Yeah, drive to America. It'll be fun.
You can't bring Mr. Slicey, Emma. You can't bring Mr. Slicey.
Oh.
That's all right. I have the same one in my closet, so you can use that.
So shall we do? Let's do favourite death. So favourite death, because it's obviously always my favourite subject, or the death. Who was your favourite death scene, Stephen? I think we're all going to pick the same,
I don't know. I keep forgetting her name. Was it was it Kelly? The one
Kelly-
who
The blonde
She was-
one. That's
she was the
Kelly.
one who had the boyfriend and she was like not ready to have sex. Was
yeah,
that Kelly?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Her death scene creeps me out because the way that it was filmed, how he came up behind her,
Yes.
and to me that was the most realistic one for me because even when he slices her throat, you can see it in her eyes and everything. And she wasn't my favorite character. I
feel
thought
it.
she was so annoying, but I felt bad that that's how she died. She wasn't expecting it, and you know, her character was very troubled for me, so I felt bad that's how she died. That one creeped me out the most, so I would have to say
Yeah,
that.
It's
that
super
was
creepy.
creepy.
And you could hear it, couldn't you? You couldn't see it, but you could hear some sort
Yeah.
of horrible knife being dug in her. And I
It
was
was,
like,
it was
"Ugh."
the mirror, wasn't it?
The
Must have
mirror,
been the
yeah.
mirror.
Yeah, that's it. The bit of
Oh.
mirror. The
Yeah.
shard.
Ooh.
I was like, what is the killer called? The glass killer, the shard stalker,
shard.
the mirror murderer.
The Prom Night killer.
The
Shard
murderer.
killer.
Oh.
I also felt sorry for Kelly a little bit because those kisses with a blinking boyfriend Drew, like they were like so.
Blood on her
Like I
neck.
can't even. Like it was wet. That's the only.
The dog licking out. It was
Oh,
gross.
it was disgusting. So like. Maybe like her getting killed, like put her out of her misery. She didn't have to kiss him again.
Maybe.
Like she didn't have to get her shot. Did you catch that line? It's like hitting a shaft. I'm like, it is not like that. Oh my God, what? Who wrote that line?
Oh, yeah, it's just like getting a shot. It's fine. It's
No.
fine.
Oh my God.
The poor girl.
Who was your favourite death scene, Emma?
Yeah, well, I've got two. I really liked, obviously, the obvious one is the head going across the dance floor. Because I literally laughed out loud. Chris had missed it and he was like, what just happened? And I was like, the axe's head come off and it rolled across the dance floor. It's just sitting there. And I'm laughing. I know that's it's supposed to be funny. But I couldn't stop laughing. And then I loved that. And then obviously the van. Oh man, the tussle with the van and the van's going round and round.
Oh.
Yeah, man, that was great. That was suspenseful. I was like, oh my God, I knew they were going off the cliff. Obviously, we all knew.
Yeah.
But you were like, ah! The van going round, just sitting there going, oh my God. Yeah, I really like that. That too.
Yeah, Karen's put, I loved it when the van was doing donuts and the killer was chasing it in circles.
Yeah.
Trying to murder him. But
Falling out
do
the
you know
door, holding on.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
what got me about that scene was obviously before they went to the bluff to like have sexy times. Like he said, I can't see anything without my glasses. Slick, the character Slick did, but he manages to drive the van round and round and round, like with no glasses on, trying to.
And he tried to drive over him, didn't he? He tried to back over him. I was like, oh, yes, go on. He didn't back over him. I was like, oh, damn.
But what happened to Jude's body? Like, I know she was like, it was like in the back.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
was her body still in the back of the van, or did it fall out?
I think it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I
Wouldn't it be funny if it was rolling around and then came out the front? I'd have laughed.
honestly, I kept thinking like, oh my God, he's going to run her body over, because I thought she was like on the ground somewhere.
Someone needs to do like a scary movie spoof, like a scary prom night spoof, don't they?
I'm just glad that she was put out of her misery, that she'd have to deal with all. Like, she didn't even know what was going on, the donuts, and then over the bluff. Like,
She was loving it.
I was so happy that she
She was
had to
back
deal with
there
that.
just like, wow, this is so amazing.
I know.
that whole scene, and apparently one of the stunt coordinators actually did pinch from somewhere, like it was a stolen van that they like exploded. Or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, they were really naughty on this movie.
Yeah, they were.
Imagine watching it and then being like, wait, that looks like my old, that's my van.
Oh, Luna.
That's where we went.
blew up before it hit the rocks as well.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
did.
and it blew up a lot. Like, what the hell was in the back of that van?
Yeah, it did. I laughed
A lot
at
of weed.
that death scene because as soon as it went over the bluff and then it blew up, I said, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that." It was crazy, and I said, "Wow, that was a shot, wasn't it?" But yeah, it was a crazy death scene. But
Oh
it was
no,
so
it was
unnecessary, but it was
slick.
funny. It was so
it
funny.
was just so funny. Like, just it was hilarious. Like, I laughed so much, I couldn't stop. It was really, really funny. How about you, Josh? What was your favourite death scene? Is it going to be the same?
I just loved the head. It was just,
The head.
you're waiting for something like that, and you know that you're just waiting for him to get his comeuppance, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's so awful the whole way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it
Yeah.
happens,
Yeah.
it's sort of really horrible, but also you can't help laughing as well. Yeah. What about you,
I
Shelley?
was- Oh, see, I don't think they had like really good. They were all so different and really good. Like Kelly's death to me it was just her face, and when you just saw it. But yeah, it's got to be the head. And I did also like Wendy's death because that made me laugh because it's like her hiding place. She hides in the closet. Like, what do you think's going to happen, Wendy? You're not clever, hiding in the closet. And then obviously she sees the body fall down. I presume that was Kelly. It's got to have been.
Yeah.
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 And then obviously gives herself away. And I just thought that was just like, for me, typical of like a typical horror film, like someone hiding in somewhere they shouldn't and things
Not
like that.
grabbing the chemicals and throwing
Yeah.
them in the killer's
why
face.
why
See them
didn't
right there.
She had everything in that closet to hand, and she didn't use it. Apparently as well, I didn't notice this on the rewatch, so I don't know whether this is true, but apparently, when the creepy caretaker guy, Mr. Sykes, is it? Sykes. Apparently, when he runs into the prom saying there's a killer on the loose and he's obviously drunk, it's because he was, I don't know how true this is, he was like in the closet or near the closet where Wendy died.
Okay.
But apparently you get like a little glimpse of his shadow or something.
Or was he in the garage?
Oh, maybe there. But apparently
No, you're right. There was somebody when Wendy was in the closet, you see somebody's outline and they never follow back up with it. Because I said there's somebody
that.
I was like, is somebody in there with her? But they never really acknowledge it. So I think that makes sense.
Apparently it's meant to be linked to that, but as I
He
say,
doesn't save her.
he just sits there and just watches like.
I feel like he was on a lot.
What can I do?
He was barely even there, I think.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
He was like
so many red herrings. So many unnecessary red herrings.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And obviously we can't move on without talking about that dance scene. That
my God!
Scene. I've been
So
dying to
funny.
ask what you thought. So like, obviously we're coming out of the 70s era of like Saturday Night Fever and stuff. Was that dance scene necessary?
Yes, 100% necessary. Yeah.
Josh!
I mean, if Jamie Lee Curtis wants to dance, I'm not going to stop her.
Well, yeah, there is that.
And
but
she
we
was
didn't.
great.
Yeah. She was great, but he really wasn't. He was like dad dancing.
He was trying.
Oh, bless
Yeah,
him.
you could tell.
He tried to make her happy. She was like, "We're going to dance," and he's like, "Okay."
I'm an ex-dance teacher, and I was absolutely horrified at that dance scene. What was the choreographer thinking? Jamie can move, and just wasted, in my opinion. I was like, wow, she could have done like so much more with Jamie.
She was
because
so limited.
She's a really good dancer. Yeah, I think so.
Held back.
I don't know what was worse, that dance scene or when she was dancing with her dad, Leslie Nielsen.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that
that
was
was
weird
like-
too. Mm-hmm.
Like this.
Hi, Dad, listen up. Oh, no, Jamie.
Yeah.
It was very Snake
Or
Hips
Kim, rather.
next to her dad.
Yeah.
What did you think, Stephen, of the dance scene?
Well, I laughed really hard when she said, when they see Wendy come in with Lou and his thugs, and she grabs Nick, is that his name?
Nick,
And she's
yeah.
like, let's show him what we can do. And then they get into this like 35-minute dance routine. And I was like, wow, this is a really long number. Like it was
And
like they
Wendy
were at like a
watches the whole
recital.
thing.
Yeah, it
Credit,
was
Wendy
crazy.
does watch it.
I know she does.
Yeah.
She's like taking notes.
It's a bit bored.
But it's like everyone is kind of just standing there, like watching them, like, oh, look.
Yeah, nobody was like
Really
really even
dance,
clapping until like towards the end of it either. Everybody looked so bored. But
They're like,
it was a lot.
dancing again.
It was a lot of dancing, and I think Jamie Lee did a really good job. She took it seriously. The actor who played Nick, I thought, needed a little bit more work. He was very stiff, and you could tell he's not a dancer.
Yeah.
But it went on
Yeah.
way too long.
It was
This is
so
so
long.
ridiculous.
No, you're all wrong.
I felt embarrassed for him.
More
I was
and more
like, oh my
Jamie.
God.
I was like, I wonder if they watch this back and go and just cringe and like, oh yeah, I did this movie with this dance number in it. It's amazing at the time.
Imagine reading that in a script, though. It's like, oh yeah, enter dance number. Oh, we'll worry about that later, Jamie.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it'll only be like a minute.
Yeah.
And then it's like ends up being this whole thing. But no, I did like it. I'm laughing and I'm saying it was unnecessary. It was unnecessarily long, but
Yeah.
I did like the dance and like
John Travolta, they are not.
no. Apparently, Casey Stevens, who played Nick, obviously he couldn't dance, and apparently
Bless
at some
him.
point they did sub in like a well-trained dancer when the moves got too hard because he was like inexperienced. And then when I was
The moves got too hard.
apparently, but when I was rewatching it, I was trying to suss out when they subbed him in, like this subbed him out and subbed the other one in, and I couldn't tell. I honestly couldn't know.
Oh, I couldn't tell either.
No, but
No,
yeah.
I didn't notice that either.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll all recreate that dance later on. And then,
Not like this.
There you go.
I'll watch it later.
Josh has got it.
oh, you did it before, John?
Oh yeah, they were like
Like
this
this.
at one point, and they kept looking sideways. They kept doing
yeah.
that. I was
That was
like, what
very
is this?
ABBA, very ABBA-ish. Oh, dear.
Average.
Perfect scene.
Imagine if we saw a scene like that in like a modern day horror. What would we do? Like,
I
would we
love it.
laugh?
Yep.
Josh
What
would
did
be
they
like,
do in The
yeah.
Guest? Isn't there a party scene in The Guest?
Oh, I've not seen The Guest.
I'm not sure there's dancing.
No, I haven't.
Wait, what is that
It's got
movie?
that neon, the Dan Stevens one.
Oh, I've seen that.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't remember a dance scene in it though.
Mm.
They're at a
No.
party. I remember that. Now I have to watch that.
Yeah, watch that instead.
Oh, every film I watch now, if it hasn't got a dance scene, I'm just going to be really disappointed.
Just
Well-
edit one in with you dancing, Shelley.
Oh God, no one. That would be the true horror film right there. That
It'll be a
would.
hit.
I'd be
Damn it.
I'd be on that Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
My God.
you'd be fresh. You'd be 100% fresh.
Yeah.
It'd be like my reviews would say the real horror was the dance.
Oh my God. Oh,
So-
my face is starting to hurt.
I meant to say at the
Just
start
stop.
that if I cough, I do apologise. I've got a cough, but I'm doing quite well considering all the laughing I'm doing.
Yeah.
That
Like therapy.
Yeah, it is.
So people say about Prom Night, so the original Prom Night, that it's like a watered down version of Halloween 1978, crossed with Carrie, or maybe a combination of Friday the 13th and Saturday Night Fever. But they do say this was like more they say artfully made than Friday the 13th.
Oh, definitely.
But this came out obviously the same year, and it's obviously
It's the
similar
same producer as
themes.
Halloween.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
okay.
Yeah.
But for some reason, considering it came out the same year, Friday the 13th was more of a hit than this. And this didn't seem to have the same impact. Also, my research tells me. So why do you think that is? Why do you think it was less popular than like Friday the 13th? What do you think, Josh?
It probably is because of the slow first hour, I would say. Because Friday the 13th, I think, was such a word of mouth thing where people are like, "Oh my God, you've got to see these deaths!" Like you hadn't seen a teen horror film like that before, where the deaths were so explicit, the special effects were like so amazing for the time. That I think that film hit a certain zeitgeist, whereas Prom Night was a lot quieter, was a bit more muddled about what it actually wanted to be. It's kind of a mystery, but also it's sort of like a dance movie. And then also kind of a slasher, but it's a slasher before the rules had really been cemented. Like Friday the 13th is a film that really cemented those rules. And so, yeah, I just think that, Friday the 13th was more of a crowd pleaser, I would say, than Prom Night,
Yeah,
even though it
yeah,
hasn't got any dancing in it.
Well, you never know. There might be an unedited,
Yeah.
unedited out soon.
I mean, Kevin Bacon did Flashdance, so
Yeah.
just like
That makes
some scene
sense.
for Flashdance in.
What do you think, Steve?
No, Footloose. Didn't he do Footloose?
Footloose,
Right?
sorry,
Footloose,
Yeah.
yeah, that was it, yeah. Oh, can you imagine Kevin Bacon in Flashdance?
He puts the water.
He'd be up for that.
There was a guy that did
He
some
so
dancing
would. It'd be so...
wasn't it? It was a guy standing
So-
for the girl. A guy in Flashdance. There was a dancer who stood in for the girl. Like it wasn't all her moves. Did you know that?
Oh, I had no idea.
Oh, no,
Wow.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so you saying the cutscene thing? Yeah, that happened in Flashdance.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was Kevin Bacon.
It was Kevin Bacon.
It all makes sense now.
I'm never going to watch Flashdance the same ever again.
Oh my God.
What do you think, Stephen? Do you think that why do you think Friday the 13th was more popular at the time this was released?
I mean, I have to agree with everything Josh said, but I also think that it probably came at a time when like Halloween was already out and Friday the 13th was already out and probably like numerous other horror movies that were just like this. So it was sort of like that factory that kept putting out these kind of horror movies, and they start to turn into like almost the same type of thing, but just a different way to kill people, I guess. But I mean, the same thing happened in the like late 90s, early 2000s with all those same types of horror movies where they just start churning them out, and it's the same type of thing, and some of them do well and some of them don't. But Prom Night is, I probably at the time, people looked at it and was just like, this is a very long, drawn-out movie. There's no clear, like, story except for this, like, murder in the beginning, or the death in the beginning. They're trying to find out who the murderer is. They hired, like, 35-year-old actors to play, like, 17-year-olds. It wasn't very believable to me, but I feel like they probably just looked at it like it was just another horror movie that didn't quite match up to what Friday the 13th and Halloween did. Even though they had Jamie Lee Curtis, they probably thought because they had her, it would be a major success because they had her name. But it was sort of like, for me, it was sort of like a letdown. I felt like it was just a funny, silly slasher movie to me. But I'm glad I watched it because I never watched it. And I don't know. I just think it was just one of those things at the time that it just was a product of its time, and it just didn't get the success it needed because of all the other things that were coming out before it. Yeah,
and definitely after it as well. Like think of all the movies that came after it, and it was kind of sandwiched in the middle. Yeah. How about you, Emma? Like overall, did you like the film, especially for that dance scene?
I liked elements of it. I don't think I'd watch it again. I did like the horror elements of it. I thought they were well done, but I think it was very lost. That script was lost. The added in, like, now I know that that part was added in. That's why that doesn't make sense. I just think it was overly sexist and overly a lot of toxic masculinity. The men were made out to be angry abusers, and the women were preyed upon as victims quite heavily in the movie. And I don't think, even at that time, I don't think audiences would have wanted that much of that. I was just like, wow, this needs to go into schools as a what not to do, kids. So yeah, I think really it was just too muddled, and it lost its way. The horror part for me, the last 30 minutes of it, was the best of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Overall, Josh, were you a fan? You'd seen this before, hadn't you?
Yeah, a while back. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't have much memory apart from the head.
The head.
Yeah, I kind of like,
just
yeah,
saves
I
the whole
totally
movie.
agree with Emma about, yeah, just the head. Just say the head and a dance. Done. 5 stars. I do agree with Emma. It is very sexist. There are lots of lingering shots on female bums and unnecessary sort of boob shots and stuff that are just a bit like gross. But it's still like, I like the disco stuff. I love that their prom is called Disco Madness. It's hilarious. It's just like a funny little curio, I guess. You know, you can see what it's trying to do, and it kind of fails, but it's all right. I'd watch it again.
Well, as I say, when I watched it again today, I did kind of enjoy it a bit more than the first time around. So
your expectations were lowered by the first watch.
I think I just felt stupid that I thought Leslie Nielsen was behind that ski mask, to be quite honest. I was like, what was he thinking? What?
I think they cut a scene. There was meant to be a scene where he was chopping wood, as kind of like a little, like, he could be a killer. He knows how to use an axe.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I obviously just like fantasized about Leslie Nielsen with an axe quite a lot, and obviously oh dear. But yeah, Karen's put, I love all your prom night blood makeup and crowns and whatnot. We honestly didn't plan this, otherwise I would have mentioned it to Stephen on, which I feel so bad
I'm wearing
about.
one, you just can't see it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think your flowers look kind of like crown-like behind you.
Yeah.
My midsummer crown.
I just literally grabbed this and then just put it on just before I pressed go live, so I didn't know the others were doing it. And then Karen's also put.
I just had a nosebleed and I couldn't be bothered to clean up.
And you wiped it on your head.
No preparation. Yeah, no.
You're like,
all the
time. And then Karen's mentioned about when I've forgotten her name. Wendy. When Wendy is Wendy. Yeah, it is Wendy, isn't it? Oh
Wendy,
my
yeah.
God, I've lost the plot. Yeah, when she managed the cleaner's cupboard, why didn't she grab a bottle of bleach or something that burns?
Because she was badass. I felt like she got slightly shortchanged. She could have really kicked some ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Karen's put, Stephen, I think she means, is the final girl. That's what you came as today. Final girl. You survived us all.
Oh, that's funny.
I think that's what she means. I'm really sorry, Karen, if that's not what you meant. That's how I interpreted it.
I'll take it.
I love that. Final guy. But yeah, thanks for like joining me and like watching this film and laughing along. I'm glad you found like all the bits funny that I found funny.
I love that song. Prom Night.
Karen's put, yeah, that's what she meant.
It's okay. I don't get offended.
Oh, I think it's like true. Like, you deserve that crown. There you go.
All right, well, send me yours in the mail, and I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah, I will. But yeah, and thank you, Stephen, for being like a fantastic guest. So, you host like a brilliant podcast, don't you, Stephen? Creek Talk podcast, where you recap like Dawson's Creek. with
Yeah.
your friend
Oh,
Jamie.
awesome, great.
It's brilliant. I love it.
Oh,
It's like listening
thanks.
to old friends. So honestly, check
Oh,
out Creek.
that makes me
Check
feel
out
so
Creek
happy.
Talk podcast. Oh no,
Yeah.
honestly, it's so good. And you're on series
Oh.
2 now of Dawson's Creek, aren't you?
Yeah, we just did a special Thanksgiving episode where we reviewed Pieces of April, but we're gonna get back into this
Ah,
series next week.
yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to do this thing where we do like a special holiday episode. So we did H2O for Halloween, and we
Mm,
did Pieces of April because they star like the actors, you know. Um,
yeah.
and we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do for Christmas. I don't know yet,
Ooh.
but yeah,
Mm.
check it out. I hope that you like it if you listen. And I have to tell you, thank you for inviting me on. And I'm so excited that I got to meet everybody. Because I follow all of your
Oh,
pages, and you know, I'm always like following everybody's socials. So it's just exciting for me to be here. I really appreciate it.
oh, thanks for saying
Oh,
yes
Yeah.
to us
Thanks
crazy
for giving me
Oh,
lots.
a
of
yeah, thank
course.
you.
I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna like be able to do this because they're so like well in tune with one another. I hope I don't like sound like an idiot.
Oh
Oh
God,
no, you're
no, no,
brilliant.
not at
Oh,
all.
thanks.
Yeah. So obviously check out Stephen's podcast, and then we've got the brilliant Josh, who's like journalist, like fantastic journalist, fantastic podcast person, and upcoming debut author of The Shadow Glass. Woohoo, which can't wait for.
Yay,
And
can't wait for
then
that.
Thanks, guys.
And
and
then
then
me.
obviously Emma.
And then just me.
No, Emma is a brilliant. No, it's not. And then there's you. I've got
And
here.
then there's you.
Hang on. No,
What have you
Emma
got?
has listened as well.
Oh, wow.
How did you guess?
We know, Emma. We
Oh,
know.
Yeah, we know everything.
So yeah, do check out Emma as well. She's a brilliant writer. So
oh, thank you.
I've just knocked
That's
all my.
exciting.
I'm surprised you didn't hear a big crash because I've literally pulled that book off the shelf and all my books have just fell off. So yeah, I'm gonna have fun.
Be careful, Shelley. Remember, that's your how you die in the movie. Remember, bookcase. Be careful.
Yes, yeah. I tell you, if I do die, it will be by books because they're always falling off the shelf. It's terrible. But yeah, thanks guys for joining me. Thanks everyone who joined in as well. If you listen to us laugh the whole time, then thank you. And hopefully we'll be back next month. We haven't discussed next month, but hopefully we'll be back. Christmas.
Yeah.
Can't believe it's
Christmas.
I can't believe it either.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, thanks guys. I'm gonna hang up my crown now and retire it for another year.
Me too.
Oh dear. All right then, guys.
See you soon.
Thank you for joining.
Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.